Hey, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Battle of the Cans Week 3. It is a virtual cook-off where we cook in. It's kind of like if Iron Chef meets quarantining, and boom. Okay, my name is Cameran Hebb. I'm one of your hosts, and I am currently in Harlem, New York.
And I'm Kelsey, and I'm hunkered down in Brooklyn. You know, y'all, it's been a sizzling 2 weeks. We're excited to be in week 3 to see what's going to happen here. So just kind of a reminder of how this all works. We have 5 contestants. At the beginning of the week, they were given 3 cans to choose from. The cans this week were Garbanzo beans, peanut butter, and Coca-Cola. So they've incorporated that into their dish, and we're going to see what they made.
And then when they have their dish, they'll present it, and they each get 3 minutes or less. And they are presenting it to, we have 3 judges, and they will receive immediate feedback. You, as our audience, are also a judge. You will be voting at the end, so hey-oh. But the judges' criteria is on creativity. It is the incorporation of the canned food in the dish, the presentation, and also taste. Now, obviously, we cannot. We're just going off of their own reaction to the dish.
Mm-hmm. And there is a prize. So the winner is going to receive $50 to have takeout at the restaurant of their choice. Awesome way to support those local businesses, small businesses. Oh, hey.
Yeah, it's super important. So without further ado, let's introduce our 3 badass judges. Let's start with Nancy Hebb. Nancy served as the director of a cooking school in Olympia, Washington before moving to Florida, where is she now? And she was a cooking instructor for Sur La Table. She has worked as a kitchen assistant with chefs such as Jacques Pepin and Ted Allen. She is also my mom, and she looks at recipes often like she did my report cards. Very
good. Very good. All right. I read more recipes in your report cards, but nevertheless, it's good to see you again, Cameron. It's my way of connecting with you every Sunday. Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
It's good to see you, Bob. We'll see you in a second.
So I'm lucky enough to be able to introduce Sara. So Sara began her professional life as a performer. Oh, hey, girl, hey. And after that, she returned to her hometown of Raleigh, North Carolina. She and her husband renovated a landmark restaurant space, and they modernized it and turned it into Y Hill Kitchen and Brewery. So they have a website, wyehill.com. They're also on the gram at Y Hill. How's it going, Sara? You there?
It's going so great. How are you?
Dude, so good. So good. Good to see you again.
Oh
you as well.
Well, shining sunshine. And lastly, we have the great Kenji Hurlburt. Kenji, he has 16 years of culinary experience. He was the executive chef of the Queen's Kickshot in Astoria, New York, and he's now a freelancing chef all over the world. And Kenji is currently in an apartment in Bushwick, New York. Kenji! Oh,
yeah. Aloha. How's it? Oh my gosh. I would be outside like Sara, but the Wi-Fi doesn't go that far. So the kitchen it is right now. But I'm still bringing a little bit of the Aloha spirit, you know? So I'm very excited. Let's get this started.
Let's get it started. I feel like we're outside just looking at your shirt. That's amazing. Boom. All right. Kels, let's do this. Who's our person?
So our first contestant comes to us from the South Bronx, Miss Hillary. So excited to see Hillary.
Oh, hi.
How's it going?
Nice to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm on day 715 of quarantine in the Bronx. Yeah, so hanging in there.
I have that calendar too. Dude, so excited to hear it. Let's hear about your dish. What did you make?
Okay, so we are doing dessert first. So I made a Georgia peanut pie. So this is our pie.
Whoa.
Peanuts.
So lots of peanuts, lots of peanut butter in both the crust and the crust itself. So I'm going to bring it over here. We're going to cut a slice out.
Yes.
Hopefully.
An action shot. Love it. Here we go.
So the crusty top.
Anything about a baked good right now, straight for the heart.
I mean, I think the amount of butter, sugar, and peanut butter is certainly good for the heart.
Is this a dish that you've made before?
I've actually never made this before.
Okay.
I just thought, you know, shot.
Yeah.
So here's our slice.
Wow.
Ooh.
Do, 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 do.
So I'm going to set this here for a second. And then we have the chocolate Coca-Cola glaze that we're going to drizzle on top. I'm going to try to go for dramatic drizzle.
That dramatic drizzle.
Wow. So Hillary, you incorporated 2 of this week's.
So I did. I thought I would overachieve a bit. So we're going to go just one more. So here's our peanut.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Then we're going to throw a little dollop of fresh bourbon brown sugar whipped cream on top.
Oh my God.
Look at that slow-mo.
Oh.
Boom.
Solid dollop.
Oh.
Yeah.
So here's our full product.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and we're going to take a bite. Although I think I'm good with just the whipped cream. In full disclosure, I do not like Coca-Cola, so we're going to see. I'm going to try the sauce first. I could do Coca-Cola like this.
Okay.
All right, and then we're going to I like to do a dessert with a spoon, so you get all the elements in one.
Mm.
You get a little scoop of everything, first bite.
Oh.
And that's delicious.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I'm kind of upset with myself that I now have an entire pie. I'm alone.
It's your own challenge. Amazing.
So, you know, I'm gonna take one more bite and then we can talk about it.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and get started. Miss Nancy, love to hear your thoughts on the dish.
Tell you, first of all, just to seeing that cloud of cream drop on that luscious presentation is enough. We could stop right there. Taking us to the south of the Mason-Dixon line. Wow, is it number one to get some Southern hospitality going? You really talking about this Georgia peanut pie. I'm not a baker, and I know a lot of cooks that don't like to bake. And the reason we don't like to bake is because it so relies on chemistry, chemical reactions. But looking at this recipe, I would duly do this one. This is not difficult because, first of all, you have a very, very firm crust with the creamy peanut butter. Simple. You can't screw that one up. Put it in your food processor. The other thing is the filling. When you cut that piece out, it didn't collapse. It didn't fall and ooze out. It was just held nice and firm to hold up that cream. So I'm impressed with that. Now I'm going to go back to the filling. You, in your recipe, it has sorghum. Did you use sorghum?
I actually did not. I was unable to find it in the South Bronx. I'm in the wrong South for that ingredient. But I did actually end up finding dark corn syrup, and I used that as an alternative. I had planned on using molasses with a bit of extra sugar, but luckily I was able to find the dark corn syrup, and it seemed to have worked pretty well.
I was going to say most people in their pantry aren't going to have sorghum unless you live down in the south. Then you might have it. But what I was wondering, maybe if you didn't even have the dark corn syrup that you could possibly use maple syrup because it's your sweetener, or honey. I think you could go either way with those. So all your other ingredients are pretty decent staples that you wouldn't have difficulty in finding. Now let's talk about that Coca-Cola. So, you know, I was introduced to Coca-Cola as a product other than Cuba Libre many years ago when somebody smoked a brisket and made a Coca-Cola barbecue sauce for it. And I would tell you, it was fabulous. So since then, I've seen Coca-Cola in glazes for pork, like ham, pork chops, definitely, and a lot of smoked products, but never on a dessert. So seeing this glaze attached to that presentation was fabulous. It was a beautiful recipe. I'm anxious to try this, and I'm not even. Thank you, sugar. This is just something I have in my pantry, and
I tried to coif my hair, but I don't know if I made it quite there.
I'm going to tell you what, you're adorable. Thank you for bringing this and a dessert finally to this our presentation. This is wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. Okay, I'd love to hear from Sarah. What are your thoughts?
Hi, Hillary.
Hi.
Thank you for sharing your cute little kitchen with us. It's just the cutest little kitchen.
Thank you.
So first of all, this presentation of this pie is absolutely stunning with how the peanuts roast to the top. It adds such a pretty texture. And bonus points to you for using peanut butter in the crust, which handmade crust, all way to go. Because like we all have this abundance of time right now, right? Like where's the rush? And peanuts in the filling, which is super amazing. And also for me, I am tacking on some bonus points here for 2 magic ingredients that you used in this recipe, peanuts or peanut butter and Coca-Cola together. It looks beautiful. You say that you're sad with yourself for making yourself a whole pie, but it sounds like you're winning at life. I would say. The other thing I love is this is such a fun recipe that you could make any time of the year. Like you could make it at Thanksgiving, but you could also have it for a cookout in the summer. It just like transcends the seasons, and it looks delicious. Really nice job.
Thank you.
So smart. Awesome. Okay, and last but not least, Kenji.
Oh man, you put me in a tough position again because now I'm like the last person to judge, so it's kind of like very Simon Cowell-esque. So I get to dig into people. This is great. I love it. But seriously, I'm a sucker for scratch cooking. Everything in my old restaurant was completely done 100% from scratch, except for like ramen noodles and like hamburger buns. That was pretty much it. So props to that. The crust was made completely from scratch, which you did kind of like a standard pie crust incorporated with peanut butter, which I find incredible. The presentation was really nice, and also like not only did you choose 2 of the 3 canned ingredients, you chose I think 2 of the more difficult ones this week. Specifically Coca-Cola, which is always kind of a tough one to kind of wrap your head around. And I think you did an amazing job. You kind of put yourself in like a chopped position almost. I don't know if you watched that show. For those of you tuning in, here's some pro tips. Always melt your gummy bears, reduce your Coca-Cola into a stock, and always cut your monkfish small so you can tear it off. There you go. There's your tip when you go on the competition. But I think you did an absolutely stellar job. You kind of gave yourself an additional challenge, and you totally rose up to it. So kudos on that.
Great, thank you.
Awesome.
I considered putting chickpeas in the crust, but that just felt too much.
That might be a bit much. I think you're good with what you did.
Pretty big.
Respect. Oh, thank you. Amazing. Okay, let's go. Second contestant is coming to us from Southport, North Carolina. We have we have 2 cousins today who are going head to head, who live in different states and are related. And this is the first one, Sean Casserly. Hey, Sean.
Hey everybody. I went kind of simple. I think that Kenji would probably say I leaned into the simpler of the offered ingredients, and I made a hummus. kind of an all-purpose snack for everyone, and infinitely improvisable. You really can choose your own adventure with hummus. So I figured I'd just walk you through the ingredients, and then I'd show you my finished product, which is beautiful.
Please.
So you're going to want to start with garbanzo beans, also known as chickpeas. I did a double batch just for presentation's sake. But you can use a can of these and just a few other ingredients, and you'll be good to go. You'll have a nice little appetizer for your friends. The other, I would say, key ingredient would be tahini. Oh, there it is. There it is. Essentially, a sesame paste, which is delicious, used in multiple ways. Lemon juice, also important. Garlic. It doesn't look like garlic, but I swear it is. And then just a few little spices, as you would. Basically, all I did, I made this hummus in a blender. I would ordinarily use a food processor, but I didn't have one at my disposal. One key thing you want to do if you're using canned chickpeas to make hummus is to get them warm them up. If the beans are a little bit warm, they will get smoother for you. I go a little heavy on the tahini and the lemon just because I like how they taste, but you really can make your own culinary adventure with this. I think that they're going to post the recipe, which was me guessing at how I normally do it. But the last thing I always add, that's sort of a base hummus, is cumin. I think it's very important. A little pinch is very nice. And then for presentation, I'll do a little drizzle of olive oil and a little smoked paprika or some lemon zest. You can also mix in anything you want. That's what's nice about hummus. You could use pesto. You could use olives. You could use feta or red peppers or whatever. But I'll show you the final product.
Drum roll.
There it is. We've got some pita, some red pepper, some yellow pepper, some cucumber, some radish, and some more pita, just for balance. But you can dip anything into it, within reason. But it's sort of an infinitely flexible sort of appetizer, lovely, tasty dish. Maybe I'll give you like a bird's eye, if I can just scoop you up. Get that number.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Sean looks beautiful.
Oh, nice. I must say, Hillary's pie looked delicious, so I lost all of my self-esteem.
Listen.
I'm ready to be torn apart, so bring on the judges.
Well, I think we all need hummus in our lives. So, word. And I just want to snack into that right now. But let's hear from.
Oh, wait, I didn't do a taste. Hold on. Wait for it.
Key. Huh?
Oh, mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Oh, what smells so good over here? Oh, you made hummus.
I did.
Oh, honey, let me try this. What's all this?
Oh.
Cool, thanks for doing.
Oh, interesting. Well, thank you for making home.
This is beautiful.
Oh my God. Hand over the money now.
Gorgeous, Sean. Thank you. So good.
Little bonus appearance.
Oh, I mean, it looked like it tasted good. Let's hear Nancy. Where you at?
Hey, Sean. It's good to see you. Let me tell you that hummus, gosh, you're going to take my meal period right from appetizer to desserts tonight. Wow. That was gorgeous. It was fresh. Those vegetables were beautifully placed around that dish. I want to know, what did you top yours with? I recognize the olive oil drizzle. What else did you have on top of that? Did you put type of a seed or something, or what?
I put a little bit of the smoked paprika. I also put a little cracked black pepper. Just because I tasted it, full disclosure, before we went on. Not that anyone else can taste it, but I thought it needed a little bit of extra something, and so I put some pepper on it. But that's probably what you noticed, the little speckledy bits.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to just pour it on my computer. But yeah, I just sort of dusted it with a few various things to make it look a little bit more, you know, because hummus generally is just sort of tan and boring. So.
And flat looking, yeah, that's what I noticed right away. It really elevated its appearance. One of the things I'm questioning about is the tahini. You know, you're not using a lot of tahini, so when you get it, how do you store it and how long will it last for people?
Tahini is pretty shelf stable. I think it's a good investment if you like hummus and you want to make it often. I mean, there are other things to use it for, but you can like make tahini dressing, like lemon tahini dressings for salads and stuff. But it's sort of like peanut butter insofar as it will sit on the shelf unrefrigerated for a while. I would say a couple of months after you open it, it should still be okay. I think that if you make something like this once a week for a salad using tahini, you could probably buy a big jar of it, and it's only like $5 or $6, and then last you a month or two and stay perfectly fine just in your pantry.
And then one other question, you mentioned about warming the garbanzo beans. Would you do that with the canned beans as well?
I did do that with the canned beans. Ordinarily, for making hummus, or if you're making falafel or anything that's sort of that you would naturally think of a chickpea for, I would use dried beans, and I would soak them overnight, and I would use them the next day. In a pinch, the canned ones work well. The only reason that I warmed them, and I'll give a little shout out to my cousin, who's going to be appearing later, was the warmer they are, if they're warmed up, they're more likely to break down and become smoother when they're emulsified in the blender or the food processor. And I have to say she was correct.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a tip of the day. Thank you so much. I love making hummus, and I'm certainly going to go forward with it. I do know that when you use them from the can, they tend to be very lumpy. So thank you so much for sharing, and enjoy. And your fan club will totally dive into that afterwards. So.
Oh, thank you.
Nancy. Sarah, where you at, girl?
Sean, I want you to come here, right here, close to me. Do you see me, Sean? You are smart, and talented, and beautiful. And you made a beautiful dish. I just want to pump you up with some love. I just want to pump you up with some love, because let me tell you what, people.
I appreciate it.
So many things, but number one, just because a dish doesn't have necessarily a ton of ingredients or is uncomplicated doesn't mean it's not delicious. And homemade hummus is a staple in the House Borothy household. I am right. Also, everybody watching, if you have not tried making hummus at home, I really, really encourage you to do it because you can do it. It is really, really approachable. It's really accessible. All you really need is a food processor, or, I mean, you can actually get down with a hand mixer if you have one. Do follow Sean's tip to heat up the chickpeas. That is an amazing tip. And then you will impress your friends and family and domestic partners forever and ever and ever. People are going to think you're so fancy if you can make your own hummus. I mean, I think it's a really impressive thing that really is super, super approachable. Also, you took the words out of my mouth where, like, if you can master a base hummus recipe, you put anything you want in it. Like, get sexy with it, get sassy with it, put garlic, put herbs, put different vegetables, like get crazy. Smoked garlic is one of our favorite ones, but we really like to be aromatic in our home. But you can also put it on anything. Put it on a salad, put it on a sandwich, put it on a cracker. And I'm going to wrap this feedback up with saying this is a beautiful presentation that you made for us with all the colors on the plate and the textures on the plate. It's just gorgeous. So bravo, well done. I love seeing your face.
Oh, I love seeing yours too. Thank you.
Gorgeous. And last but not least,
So good.
we have Kenji.
The only one I don't really.
Oh God, don't say it like that. Jeez. So Sean, just one question. So what is your culinary experience, if you will? Like, are you just home cook? Can you barely boil ramen noodles? Did you used to be sous chef of Le Bernardin? Like, give me a.
As far as professional training, I have none. I had fairly astute parents, and as far as cooking was concerned, and I basically learned a lot of what I know from them, and from that I started voraciously reading food blogs, and I like to eat, so I want to eat good food, and so mostly I would say that I'm self-taught in terms of like learning tips and tricks and certain things to cut corners or save money or get the most flavor out of this or that, or so I would say that I'm mostly self-taught, but it's because I love food.
Okay, because I noticed that there's it is in your recipe, but also in the way that you were talking, presenting the dish. There were a lot of techniques that actually probably could have fooled a couple seasoned cooks and sous chefs with your level of like expertise and knowledge and technique, even with something as simple and as delicious as hummus. So I got stuck making hummus for a lot of people several times a week for many weeks. So I'm no stranger to it, but I can see that you definitely took time and care for that. You can see like heating up the chickpeas, what a pro move there, making it nice and smooth. All the seasonings that just really round out that delicate dance there, like the cumin interacting with the tahini, making sure that it plays off the lemon, but not too hard. They kind of, rub up against each other and just kind of keep each other balanced and at bay. And then, added salt and paprika as well to enhance the depth of the dish, I think is really awesome. And then, of course, as everyone's been saying, I think your presentation was really awesome. Like you put that in front of me as a crudité platter at a nice restaurant, and I would not bat an eyelash. It would have been.
Thank you, Kenji. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, Kenji, do you have anything else?
No, this is great. Freaking awesome.
Yay. Crude, yay. Sean, thank you so much. It looked beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just a reminder as we go through this, recipes are going to drop at the end of the episode. They're going to be in the description. So, I know you're getting excited, everyone. They'll be there for sure. So it's exciting to announce our third contestants. So we're gonna meet Cece and Hassan. We also have Dee, who played a role in all of this. Oh my gosh, look at this public health announcement. Make sure you wear your mask.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey.
Hey.
Doing well.
Good.
Shout out to our third cooking partner, Danielle, who wasn't able to join us in the kitchen.
She was supposed to be our DJ,
but
always late.
Here in spirit.
Excited to
good to see you guys. We'd love to hear more about your dish.
Yeah.
Sure. So we made red mole. So it's like a deviation of like the normal traditional mole. So it uses peanut butter as the base. So it's a peanut butter cocoa, and then it's just a lot of just different spices. So we have like a lot of dried peppers. So we made our own like chili mix. And then the rest of it is just like roasted onions, garlic, tomato, just to bring out flavor. And then it's just all sort of brought together and pureed.
OMG, excited to see it. Oh, there she is. Okay, so attractive.
Right.
Look, there are 2 spoons.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Again.
Bite of everything. Big on that. Oh, got some eyebrow raises, some head nods. Awesome.
Nice man.
Yeah. It's quite spicy. It's really good.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Okay. That looks amazing. Let's hear from our judges here. Miss Nancy, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, kudos to you for bringing a dish before Cinco de Mayo. Wow. There's a little red mole going, so this is fabulous. So anybody that's coming up on Tuesday and you have a Corona beer and no place to go, this is a dish you could prepare. The reason I do love your recipe for a couple of things is some of your ingredients are so, if you're a decent cook, you don't even have to be a great cook, you have some wonderful staples from your spice cabinet. You have the chili powder, you have the cumin, and you have the oregano and cinnamon. So those are really something you don't have to go and search for, like sorghum. But nonetheless, I also noticed that you had a poblano in it. And if you're looking for poblanos in a grocery store, that's a fresh pepper. That might be difficult to find. You could use your ancho. Did you ever use this with an ancho chili, which is a dried poblano?
Yeah, so actually.
Actually, buy poblanos at the grocery store.
Yeah. The reason I bring those up is, thank you for sharing that. I'll tell you why. You could buy those things and just have them sitting in your cabinet for a couple of years. Because I remember once going down in Mexico taking a class, and I'd question, how long can you keep these dried chilies? And I go, well, we just dust them off. Use them for like forever. I never knew you could have a food without an expiration date. So that's pretty slick. And I thought the presentation was a true mole look. It looked fabulous. And I thought you did a nice job. The chicken thighs, it's a nice protein that doesn't dry up when you cook. You know what? This reminds me just kind of like the tagine we had last week. It looks like you have a lot of ingredients, but the thing is they all go at one time. You get a teaspoon of this, a half a teaspoon of that. You throw it in, you let it cook for a while, and you just low and slow, and you just get the most delicious meal. So thank you for bringing that, and especially this week. I really look forward to this. This will be on my menu this week. Take care.
Whoa. I love that. Low and slow. Okay. On to Sarah. Love to hear your feedback.
Hi,
Hi.
guys. You all have pulled at my heartstrings with your selection of mole. My husband and I took our honeymoon in Oaxaca, and without a doubt, the coolest thing that we did was we got to go to a local family's home where they showed us how to prepare mole. And we used the traditional ingredients and the traditional equipment, and it was such a special experience. We'll remember it forever. And we took home some mole paste with us that we actually still have, that we've been slowly rationing. So what I can't wait for everybody who's joining us live to see is that in this recipe, not only have they implemented peanut butter, but there's also cocoa powder in it. Oh, and I'm just imagining that it is creating this beautiful, not only like creamy texture, but this like flavor explosion of like sweet and salty and spicy and meaty and maybe even a little bit bitter with some of the other things you have going on. Mole is such an amazing special dish. So I think it's mad props for incorporating peanut butter into this. I think that's really, really cool. Something that was definitely surprising to me. And the presentation is gorgeous. Yeah, really well done. Really well done.
My goodness. Okay.
We need to get some tequila up in here. That makes me want some tequila, right? I heard you guys have some tequila over there.
We have whiskey today.
Fair.
Good. On theme for New York. Nice. Okay. Again, we'll say it one more time. Last but not least, Mr. Kenji. Promise last time we say it.
All right, guys. So mole, goodness. So I really liked the kind of like, I wouldn't say utilitarianness of it all. Maybe that's like not the best word for it, but it's really something that you can, you can pretty much go into any kitchen, any home kitchen and pull out these essentials. And as Nancy said, you don't have to be an amazing cook or even a great cook to make such a delicious dish as that one that you guys just made. I do have a question though. This is more like a Nancy question, I guess. But if you were to substitute a protein for this mole preparation other than chicken, what would you use?
I'd say pork shoulder or pork butt. It's the same where like it works really well for long stews and it doesn't get dried out and it breaks down really well.
Okay.
And it's soft enough to shred at the end.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. I like that answer. And also the presentation was really nice. I think adding the avocado adds that kind of sense of creaminess to it, which is really awesome. I really wish I was there to taste that because I freaking love mole. So good, guys. So thank you for that.
When this is over, you can come over and we'll make it for you.
Something to look forward to the end of all of this. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. And that was a beautiful, beautiful dish.
Yes.
Okay. So let's keep moving on. We have our fourth contestant. Let's introduce Kathleen. She's coming to us from Spokane, Washington. How are you?
Doing really well. Enjoying myself in my teeny tiny kitchen in a historic building in Spokane, Washington.
Ooh, awesome. Okay. We'd love to hear more about your dish.
Yeah, of course. So I'm just making sure that it doesn't go blank because you are currently in my cupboard right now. But I don't have the best oven. I don't have the best microwave. So I've actually started using my Instant Pot. Thank you, Mom, for buying me this Instant Pot and learning how to cook different meals. So I have a chicken coconut curry soup that I've been preparing. Ooh. And it takes a little bit of time. It's not something that I would have done like after I'm done from a day of teaching because it takes a lot of time, but I also have a lot of extra time on my hands. So I have created a coconut curry soup, and it's really nice because I've created this in Colorado and here in Washington. So you can make it vegetarian or gluten-free if you want. But now that I'm not vegetarian anymore, I'm adding in a little bit of chicken and chicken skins. So I actually crisped up some chicken skins that I like for the crisp on the top.
Ooh.
I know. I'm doing a little extra. And the nice thing is I used garbanzo beans. I have used that in the past as a thickener in my soup, but now I actually blended it in the soup and I crisped them up so it actually is like a topping as well, just like the crispy chicken skins. So if you don't like chicken skins, that works as well. And then I top it with a lot of coconut and cilantro and just some extra chili oil because it's really, really delicious. It's something that is hearty. It's really great during the fall. And you can thin this out during the spring. But right now, since I'm inside and have a lot of extra hours on my own hand, I can actually spend hours making something delicious and it's wonderful. Mm. Oh, and it's crispy. then you can choose how much you want to add with like the chicken and cilantro, so you get to actually mix it up the way that you want to. I have a very big bowl. Luckily, it's shallow. So I'm putting gallons of this. But the one nice thing is with my recipe is you can make it several times and add what you want. So if you want more like lime zest, I was feeding my partner earlier and he was like, we need more lime, we need more of this. So I actually like got chives from our garden, which you could do, and zest because I have it. Add it to itself and it creates different dimensions and it's really wonderful if you want shredded chicken on the inside or if you just want something more vegetarian friendly. It's really wonderful.
Awesome. Okay, so we can really personalize this. Okay, alrighty. Okay, Miss Nancy, what are your thoughts? What are you feeling right now?
Well, first, Kathleen, the size of the kitchen really doesn't guarantee the success of a dish. I have had many encounters with big kitchens and hostesses that would substantiate that claim. But I'm going to say out of that little kitchen you call a closet, you really produced a beautiful dish. And you produced a dish that's fairly tasty. I'm going to say we're spanning the globe. We just left Mexico and the Latinos, moving over into Asia. This is so nice to see ingredients other than, I think maybe something that might be unfamiliar with some people would be a fish sauce. That's not that tough. It lasts forever in your refrigerator. But the curry powder, the coconut, anytime you put curry powder and a little bit of coconut with chicken, that alone is so flavorful. So if we can't travel internationally, at least we can do it with our palate. And you gave us a great stop. So I'm going to say I have one question. I know it's in your recipe, but for the benefit of people watching right now, how did you crisp those chicken skins to top that? Because that's a beautiful texture you add to that soup.
So the chicken skins, I prefer to actually use chicken quarters because you get like a larger part of the chicken skin. You take that off of the chicken itself. And then what I do is I try to shave as much fat off as possible. You can see I've got like a big, it looks like a chip. It's just chicken skin. What I do is I just take as much fat off, clean it up, salt and pepper, and then I put it in between two pieces of parchment paper. But my best trick that I've learned over the years is actually putting in two pans together, and it takes down the time of actually being in the oven. So usually they say 45 minutes in the oven to crisp up chicken skins. If you put two different pans on top of each other, it takes 15 to 20 minutes, and it keeps it flat and it keeps it really nice and crisp, and it is a great texture on top of anything if you like chicken skins.
I'm going to tell you, Kathleen, if you're tuning in for the first time today, we are getting so many culinary hat tricks that it's definitely worth the price of admission. That is definitely a tip that I think people should listen to. And I know that people will sometimes like fry shallots when, as Cameron's mentioned, I did run a cooking school and I've been to Thailand a couple of times. And so crispy shallots are always on top of their curries like that. But you really created a wonderful dish, and I'm impressed. And I think it's not only a dish for what you think is fall, but it's a year-round dish. And that's what they're eating in Thailand, for sure. Thanks for bringing that one to the table.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy. We're traveling the globe. Okay. Sarah, I would love to hear what you're thinking.
Can we all give Kathleen some snaps for her camera angling? Yes, Kathleen.
You're in my cupboard. It's the only way I could get it.
Well done. Well done on the camera, first of all. So I was so excited to see this recipe because this is actually a variation of what Chris and I cook all the time. And I feel like we all have a rogue can of coconut milk in our pantry that lives there for like months on end. I actually just did a little Facebook survey where I asked people to send me a random ingredient from their pantry and I would give them a couple of ideas. And the one that kept coming up over and over and over was coconut milk. And so everything else in the recipe, I think, is it's not something that is, again, I think with the hummus, it's something that can seem really intimidating, but it's really not. It's super accessible, and it's so delicious when you get that full fat coconut milk with the chicken and the all of the other flavors that you have in there. Does your recipe include turmeric, Kathleen?
The curry that I used actually was I'm looking at it does
I don't think so.
turmeric. That's the first ingredient. So it's
Okay.
turmeric, coriander, cumin,
And that's what's giving it that beautiful color. And you are matching it with your cardigan. It's like so meta. So great. This looks
I'm an
delicious.
artist, so I gotta do it.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Beautiful garnish, especially with the chicken skin. That just really took it up to the next level, honestly. So well done. I do have a tip I can share. In my experience, first of all, this freezes really, really well. Not that there's often a lot of leftovers in my house, but sometimes we also like to throw in a handful of hardy greens like kale or spinach if we have it, or if we have that awkward leftover amount, just to give it a little veg action. So I'm curious if you might ever give that a try.
Yeah, I've frozen this before, and it works wonderfully. I am in a very small apartment, my teeny fridge, because we are in an 1800s apartment. But I have frozen this before, and it works wonderfully.
Yeah.
And you can just pull it out, heat it up, put it in the microwave, and just add whatever toppings you want.
Snaps, Kathleen. You're doing it. You're inspiration.
Awesome. Okay. And Kenji.
Ooh, curry. Oh man, especially when it's Thai curry, it's blows my mind. It's so good, so good. So you're already winning points with me already. It's one of those dishes that I think is also it's fun to eat because there's just so much going on, But it's also kind of fun to make, which sounds a little crazy. It's just fun, just adding, getting all this colorful veg in there and roasting off your meat, and then adding your coconut milk and seeing the creaminess of the coconut milk, and then adding your curry paste and watching the color change. It's just a really fun dish to make. Kathleen, I do have a question for you though. What curry paste did you use, or what type of curry paste did you use?
I actually didn't use a curry paste. I used just a dry. It's Pizzazz curry. I was given this, trying to put it closer.
Ah, I see.
And it was wonderful. And the great thing is I've used all different types of curries. I've received curries from my sisters over the years, and it always creates something different. It's wonderful to taste. And the nice thing is, if you don't want it to be as thick, I don't always blend it up. So it could be a thinner broth that you could have with noodles. And so it just really is versatile.
Nice.
Curry is.
That's great. I also want to preface my last comment here. I am not the biggest fan of crispy chicken skin, just because I've had traumatic cook experiences with making that stuff. So bear with me on that one. I know Sarah is probably yelling at me in the background, but just on principles and concept alone, especially when I was looking at this recipe earlier this week, I saw that and I was like, wow, what a way to utilize something that you already have, that you're already making, and just bring it up a couple notches, to add that added texture, to add that extra effort to take the skin off, to crisp it up. That's really cool. That's that's some pro chef level stuff right there. So
well, and that was fun with the garbanzo beans, is actually crisping those up to not just put it in the paste, but actually put it on top. And then on top of it, you got a little bit of chicken skins, which is always nice.
You have a lot of great textural contrast going on in that dish, and that's really awesome. I don't think we've seen that today, actually. So good job. Great job.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Gorgeous.
Thank you, Kathleen, so much. It was great to see your dish.
I've like never heard of chicken skins. That was so fun.
Dude, yeah, me too.
Crispy. Oh, you guys, whoa, we're almost done. We have one beautiful contestant left. God, just flies by. Oh, this is actually Sean Casserly's cousin. So the cousin head-to-head is going down. Hey, this is Sara.
Hi there.
And she is in Hudson Valley, New York.
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
Sara, how you doing?
I'm good. I am good. I made a chickpea hose-on ramen. Chickpeas seem to be the popular choice today, but I made a chickpea hose-on ramen. So hose-on, for anyone who doesn't know, is kind of the miso paste equivalent of the chickpea, kind of the cousin of miso paste, if you will. So listen, I have noodles on, and ramen, if you know, of course, is a very time-sensitive thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my dashi, and I'm going to plate it, and then I'm going to take you through all of my garnishes over here, okay?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Gorgeous.
Vamp for me.
Yes. Sara, would you tell us what dashi is?
Dashi is the Japanese word for stock or broth. Right. So it's the base of ramen soup, and it can be enhanced in a myriad of ways. And today I used the hose-on paste that I made. Now, hose-on is fermented with something that is called koji, which is a bacteria enhanced rice, which sounds intense, but it's not. It takes 6 months to make, though, which we didn't have. So I did a combination of red miso paste, white miso paste, and ground chickpeas. So it turns out to look like this. It's like a paste that has the same viscosity as a red or a yellow miso paste, which was kind of the jumping off point. And then I just folded my noodles here, and I'll show you a shot of it when it's done, but I'll take you through all of my garnishes. So we have a chickpea cracker, which is, ground chickpeas, flaxseed, garlic, pepper, black and white sesame seed, crispy shallots, which are going to go on top of the soy egg. We have some scallion here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Is it okay? Can you see it? Are you in frame?
No, you look great. You look
okay.
lazy Susan.
Tofu is my preferred protein, but you can use, you can use anything. My parents are having this for dinner, so I have their chicken thighs right over here on the counter where you can't see them. I've also got some mushrooms that I just sauteed with a little bit of soy sauce, some spinach for, the micronutrients.
Wow.
And I'm going to go ahead and plate this, and then I'll just hold you up over it so you can kind of see a little ramen presentation.
I love it.
Okay.
Wow, that was just such a great ride.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the lazy Susan is fun.
I just want to get a lazy Susan now.
Oh, totally. Awesome. My folks have so many great resources, and this is definitely one of them.
I mean, these textures. This is a partay. Wow. Is that seaweed, the chickpea cracker?
Yeah, nori. Did I not mention that? Yeah, the nori I bought because why mess with something that's already perfect? And I love crispy nori flakes so much. So, okay, cool. So let me put this down here. And okay, guys, sorry for the fingers.
Yes, show us.
See what's going on here?
What? Oh,
I'm holding you upside down, so I have no idea if you're centered or not or what. Where are you?
It looks maybe a little bit, yeah, but I think so. That looks great. A little bit, yeah. There we see that eggs. Oh, straight. That's beautiful. Oh my god.
So the soy eggs hang out in a little. I'm gonna put you back down. Sorry for the hands. Yeah, so the soy eggs hang out in a marinade overnight if possible. But anywhere, up to 2 hours is absolutely fine. And on top, my dad, shout out to Dad who's watching upstairs, he made the crispy shallots for me in the air fryer, which was really nice. And so that's the ramen.
Oh,
I'm supposed to taste it, I think.
Please let us know. Yeah, we need a little feedback on that.
Okay. You couldn't see, but I beautifully folded the noodles. I just want you to know that.
They look beautifully folded.
Thank you. Thank you.
Origami, but different.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
I can handle that.
Yes. Sarah, thank you. Let's get some feedback from our judges on this beautiful dish. Nancy, Mom.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I guess we're in Japan right now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Making a little dashi. I just have a question. Sarah, what is this in your heritage? Are you part Japanese or?
No, don't let the eyeliner fool you.
What?
No. No, I'm not. I ran a Japanese okonomiyaki restaurant in Bushwick for a couple of years. I also was a sous chef at Momofuku, so I've got a lot of Japanese background in my my culinary experience.
Yeah, you must have. Yeah, you must be the protege of David Chang.
He's a treat. He's a treat, Dave.
Yeah, because quite honestly, there talk about people that don't even know what dashi is, and to me, it was always like kind of the chicken broth of the Japanese. Okay, not made with chicken, but the other thing was hosan. I had never heard of hosan. I mean, that's amazing that you would incorporate these different types of ingredients, and the dish is beautiful.
Oh,
I think so. Sometimes people are very fearful. It's kind of like xenophobia of foods, culinary foods like this. But they really should taste something like this because you have texture, you have color, you have flavor. And I really was impressed with all of the preparation, making the soy eggs, making your own dashi. I have made dashi. I know that Japanese cooking is very, very unique from a lot of the other Asian styles because they use a lot of ingredients that are from the sea. When you're making the seaweed and you're bringing, like in dashi also, I'm familiar with putting bonita flakes in it. So I noticed you didn't have that in your recipe, but that dish is just gorgeous. And it's so nice that you introduced some new tastes to people, because if they could just get over the fact that they can't identify it and then just put their spoon in it and take a big slurp, they would love it. So thank you for taking us to another country, to a new style of eating, and bringing us something delightful. Thank you so much. This is a really interesting dish. Good work.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks.
Yes, slurp it up. Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. Good name.
Great name. Points. Points for name. Nomenclature for sure. High five. This is a beautiful dish. I have to echo all of Nancy's feedback. Just gorgeous. The tapestry of things that you've put together here is really, really impressive. It's very clear that you've got quite a resume, quite a background in this style. I think it's so creative what you did with the chickpeas too. Super, super innovative. Is that something? I'm so sorry if I missed it, but have you done it in the past, or is that something you just made up for fun for today's party?
No, totally. It's a great question. I've worked with both. Okay, so I've worked with ramen, and then I've worked with hosan. I've never put them together before, but yeah, I love miso paste. I love kind of the probiotic nature of adding it right at the end so that you don't kill any of that live bacteria. I love the flavor.
Yes.
Like high salt is, my palate is dead. So high salt is my ticket. And adding chickpeas to it, I wish that I had had the time to do hosan. It would have been, incredible foresight on my part. But without it, I started to think, what's a good hack? And yeah, so having it as a paste in combination or in concert, I guess, with miso and tomato paste for a little extra umami and some tomatoes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, that egg. Look at that egg. Oh,
yeah,
it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. My husband has been making soy eggs for us as a snack, as a quarantine snack. So I'm a lucky gal indeed. But party in the bowl, party for the taste buds, party in the belly. I would love to party with you, Sarah.
Same, Sarah.
Get the party started. Let's keep it going. Kenji.
What a way to round out our whole our group of competitors today. I really feel like I've circumnavigated the globe and I didn't spend any airline miles, which is great. So, wow. I really appreciate all the attention to detail you've put into ramen, because I think ramen, while is definitely stocked in my pantry because it was 6 for $2 at Food Bazaar, is also
no shame in those ramen noodles. No shame in those ramen noodles.
Yeah, no shame, right? But it's also something that's very delicate and can have a lot of flavors compounded onto it. Japanese cuisine is also very rooted in like a little more subtle concepts, like fermentation, umami. I think soy, dashi, kombu, these kind of ingredients, I think really give Japanese cuisine its really unique flavor, even in like something as quote unquote pedestrian as ramen. And everything that you made, everything that you list in your recipe, everything that is in that bowl is not it's not out of question. If you were to give it to me at Momofuku, I would have been like, oh yeah, awesome, this is great. And honestly, I'm sure it'll probably, just between you and me, it'll probably taste way better than Momofuku right now. But so amazing job to you, Sarah. Amazing job to, honestly, to everyone that's competed today. It's like every week it just does not get easier for us. It really doesn't.
Oh, I'm sorry for that. Thank you for the compliment. I think that you're right. I think that there's something in Japanese cuisine that is greater than the sum of its parts, and there's something really special about how much care and detail goes into every step of the process. So, so thank you.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you, Kenji. And Sarah, did you want to say anything else?
I do. Yeah, I want to. Well, first, my stepmom Barbie, her birthday is tomorrow, so I wanted to wish her a happy birthday. And I wanted to give a shout out to my best friend Erin Cook, who is watching right now. She's a nurse and she works in the NICU, and since quarantine has started, she has been working unbelievably hard and is by herself. And I if anybody in the world deserves a shout out and some love, it's her. So I love you, lady. Okay, that's it.
Yes. Oh my God.
Cheers for some frontline workers, for sure.
Enough credit to hospital workers right now, for real. Thank you, Sarah. Wow. Today recipes. What a day. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, thank you everyone for all of your energy in terms of the competitors and also the judges and what they made. Okay, now is our opportunity. We're voting. It's voting session. We're going to have the judges go ahead and send in their votes. As the audience, we have a link below. You can go ahead and vote. And we're going to take a few minutes and just let people vote, and then we'll be announcing the winner.
Yep. And so you guys vote away. Hard thing to do right now. Let's announce our next week's competitors. Oh my God, right? This is the 4th week of Battle of the Cans, you guys. We have 5 more contestants. Great group of ladies. We have Katie Corbis, Molly Schneider, Marjorie Gomez, Lee Green, and Holly Chu. Yes.
So excited.
And
final week. Really exciting. Announcing the cans. They are coconut milk, kidney beans, tomatoes, any type. There you go.
Wow.
Get wild. We'll see what people make. So exciting. And also kind of in line with what Sarah was talking about, we also are continuing to kind of share a place where if you're feeling the energy and you want to kind of keep that vibe going and donate somewhere, just throwing a few dollars at the Migrant Kitchen. They're a place that's providing meals to health workers who are working in New York City, and they're a really awesome organization. So we've also provided that information if you're interested.
Great. You guys, why people are still voting, please, in the live comments, we still love hearing what you're making in your kitchens. So please go ahead and like share with us what you're doing, and we will give some shout outs. And then also, this is our new part of the program called Happy Minute instead of Happy Hour. And we want Paul, who is not only our amazing technician, but Paul and I are both bartenders in New York, and we've each created a cocktail that have used this week's peanuts. So, boom. Paul, do you want to share with us?
Hey guys, so I decided to go on peanut butter because I felt that was a tough one to make a cocktail out of. And it turns out that it is delicious. I did a peanut butter and chocolate martini.
Oh my God.
Yes. So I don't have any martini glasses, so I went with this. But basically, it's just a nice blend. The recipe is going to be available after the show. But
yes,
we're definitely starting with dessert first. And then, frankly, because I needed a little West Coast shout out love, and I know there's a lot of West Coast people on here, I did a variation. If you're not someone who wants to sip on a lot of sweet drinks, but you'd rather just knock them back. And what I have here is I have a peanut butter and jelly shot.
Ooh.
What?
All for you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much.
Oh, that is so good.
Olympia glass.
The little fact is that Paul, Kelsey, and I are all from Olympia, Washington. So, represent.
O-Town love.
And as Paul said, the recipes for his cocktails will be below with the recipes from everyone today on the show. So, have fun. And my drink is, I've been really going for comfort drinks right now. And this is a float. It's soda good float. So you can use really vanilla ice cream, and it's about 2 ounces of liquor of your choice. Another thing that can be really fun at this time is to infuse liquors with vanilla or something else. I know there's a lot of like sourdough starters, but I feel like we can also really get on the infusion of liquor train. And so I tried to put links to show you how to do that, which that would be delicious in like a Coke float or root beer float or whatever you want to do as well. But yeah, let's look at what some people are making. What do we got?
Heck yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry to say that my screen just froze. A little technical difficulties, my friends.
Okay, well here we are. I'm seeing some. Hannah Tyler made some vegan mole tacos last night.
Oh, hey girl.
Oh my God, tacos every meal. I could eat tacos for every meal. That sounds delicious. Anything else? Anybody else have some food that's going on? He's back.
Oh, there he is. We also have a winner.
Indeed.
Here we go. So I want to announce the winner today is actually Hillary with her pie. Da-da-da-da.
Hillary!
Hillary!
What?
There she is. There she is with her pie.
I'm so excited.
Wow.
That was a serious competition.
Not only did you win the competition, you get a pie in your house.
Yes, I'm gonna cheers myself.
Hey. Amazing. Oh,
thank you.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Hillary.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for participating, for watching. It's been a really amazing show.
Yeah, blown away.
Totally blown away. And we'll see you guys next week.
One more week, guys.
Mm-hmm.
One more week.
One more week. Awesome.
Just thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful
week.